Welcome to ContenderCast, a global leadership and consumer industries entrepreneurship podcast centered on shining a light on bright ideas. And now, here's your host, Justin Hahnemann.
Thanks for listening, thanks for tuning in, thanks for downloading. It's Justin Hahnemann on the ContenderCast for shining a light on bright ideas. Today, back for part 2. We're talking bidets again. I can't even wait. We scheduled this one a couple weeks ago. You guys may remember from part 1, James Amburgey. He is the bidet industry expert and CMO at Bio Bidet. Just an amazing story about this company and brand, and this product segment is booming, and I can't even wait to dive into our second conversation. So James, thanks for coming back on the podcast.
Yeah, Justin, my pleasure. Thanks again for having me. Really excited to be back for part 2.
I love it, man. I mean, it's such a booming segment, as I mentioned. And for those that have not listened to part 1, I would suggest you hit pause here and go back. Early November, you'll see part 1 with James talking about the company Bio Bidet and the market for this product and just, and to understand like what's trending around it. We touched on some of that, and we're going to dive into even more of that today. So let's do this. James, let's do a little bit of setup for those that maybe didn't listen to part 1. Give us just the overview of who is Bio Bidet and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, of course. So, Bio Bidet, we are the North American industry leader here for bidet toilet seats, smart toilets. We've been incorporated and around since 2008. Again, you may have heard me say this before, but I tell everybody 2008 for North America in terms of the bidet industry, that is ancient history.
Right.
I've been with the organization for 5 years now. So I've learned a ton about bidets in this growing, rapid, quick market that we're part of. Before that, I was in banking. So again, banking to bidets. That's a little bit about me and a little bit about Bio Bidet.
That's awesome. Well, I for those that didn't listen to part 1, I was fully transparent that I really didn't understand the bidet industry at all. And in fact, my only experience with it was maybe during trips to Europe or other countries where they have bidets like in the bathroom, next to the toilet. I know everyone's probably smirking and laughing. I just had no idea that this was such a booming segment. So give us some examples or just some sense for what the market looks like right now around bidets, just at a high level.
Yes. So, in March with the pandemic, it started this conversation around hygiene and just kind of home, but it's carried over in a very meaningful way. So we look back at this entire year, and I think it's safe to say that this has been a meaningful, lasting conversation for people interested in this product. Just getting through part of holiday here, we're looking at kind of our year-over-year comparisons, and they're pretty substantial for us, from Cyber Monday, looking back to Black Friday this year, it's up over 350% on channels like Amazon.
That's unbelievable. And I know we talked about Costco
that's what I mean.
And whatnot. Yep. Yeah,
it's a very lasting conversation.
I know. God, it's crazy. So how much of the growth are you guys seeing, going into holiday 2020, just for those that are listening, how much of the market do you think is because of this whole stay-at-home, people remodeling their homes during pandemic, et cetera, versus consumers discovering a bidet and the value of it and importance of it and whatnot? I mean, what are you sensing, or what are you able to glean from some of the consumer insights?
Yeah, I think really what started a lot of the conversation in terms of bidets was toilet paper shortages, and so people were actively looking for alternatives at that point. And bidets are, high up on that list of replacement, products for toilet paper. What's interesting is that we found after using a bidet, 84% of consumers actually keep using a bidet.
Wow.
So all of those individuals that couldn't access toilet paper earlier in the year purchase one. They're starting to tell people that water does it better. Right? So that's what Bio Bidet believes.
I think that's how we titled the last episode. For those that don't have a bidet or maybe haven't ever used one, so that I just have to read this because this is kind of cool, and I did my homework on you guys. So you had shared with us last time that the growth has been driven by increased awareness of bidets, that the ultimate bathroom solution for personal cleanliness, hygiene, and health, as well as for the water and cost savings, which I had no idea on that part, that bidets covered compared to traditional bathroom hygiene solutions. So how is there the water and cost savings? Like how does that play into it?
Yeah, there's just a lot of energy and production that goes into making toilet paper. So, from the processing of the trees to the bleaching of the paper. And so by seeking an alternative to that, you're really kind of stepping away from that production and moving over to really cleaning with water, which in every other, aspect is a really natural thing that we do. And I think people are realizing that in the bathroom, it's really no different.
Right. I love that. I've had the chance to experience it myself, thanks to James, so I can validate there are many awesome benefits of having the bidet. So some of them that I'm reading here, including warm water washes, heated seats, and hands-free drying. I mean, guys, you wouldn't believe this. Like, there's like lights on these things too. It's crazy. Right, James?
Yeah, exactly. There's a LED, in-bowl night light. So in addition to providing like this higher, cleaning standard that it gives you, it does also offer a lot of comfort and a lot of extra features. So, we're really excited that people are continuing to actively seek out or have questions about this industry. We're always happy to answer that.
I love it. So you mentioned Amazon. We talked about Costco before. Talk about how you guys are thinking about sales channels and how you're deciding like where the product should go and what markets, North America, Europe, et cetera.
Yeah, so our primary focus is the North American market. So we do have distribution throughout the United States here as well as in Canada. And just recently through the pandemic, Mexico as well. That's our primary focus. It's certainly not our only, but we are trying to serve the communities closest to us and do our best, making sure products available for those that are seeking it and getting it to them timely. It's pretty challenging to do right now, but we've worked with our carriers and channel partners to deliver before the holidays.
Got it. And how do you manage pricing across different retail channels? Are you able to maintain that with the retailer, or is it individual pricing depending on the retailer that's distributing your product?
Yeah, so I think a great example of that, there is some exclusivity to products. So for example, Justin, the USPA product that you received, that's really something that Costco members have really adopted well,
sure.
and you can find it there. It does have some exclusive pricing in that marketplace. Same with our Prodigy Smart Toilet, which is kind of, I don't know if your plan is to continue using electronic bidet toilet seats, but eventually, if it is, people who are building new homes or on the, beginning of a remodel stage, they really start to look at these all-in-one solutions, completely replace their toilet with a smart toilet.
So
and we have those at
So
Costco.
Talk about what's all inside of the all-in-one toilet.
Yeah, so the great part is that it installs just like a regular toilet.
Absolutely.
It takes up a similar footprint, if not a little smaller, because these are kind of one-piece toilets. What's great about our Prodigy is that it doesn't have a tank reservoir, so it uses the pressure system of the home's water source to actually power the flush. So it's like on-demand flushing, if you will. What's really great about this one, and we've seen this trending for some time, but it's even more relevant these days, which are the hands-free operation of the seat and lid. So as you approach, your toilet, if the lid automatically open for you, that saves you a touch, or, your guests a touch. And so it's a little bit more hygienic.
That's really cool. That's so great. As the CMO, I mean, marketing is your thing, obviously, and thinking about how to build the brand is your thing. What are the steps you guys take besides pricing and presence in store and in e-commerce like Amazon? Like, what are the steps you guys take to build the brand or awareness of this product?
Yeah, we have a extremely loyal, enthusiastic customer base, which is, I think, kind of unique to our industry in some ways. And I think one of the things that we do best is engage them, listen to them, and see, their feedback, how we can do things differently or better, enhance them for the future. That's a big focus of mine, and I think it's part of the reason we've been so successful over these years.
Well, I could see that would be key, right? How much direct consumer engagement do you guys get versus having to go through the retailer for the consumer information or feedback?
We have a pretty great opportunity, and the reason why is we have an in-house team of customer service agents, here at our location in Crystal Lake, Illinois. And so we're providing post-sales support for all consumers if they have questions, regardless of where they've purchased it. It's not unusual for a new customer to have questions about the technology that's driving this, or like a kind of how-to. And so we have a really great opportunity to engage with them on the front end. And we've implemented some technology during, this work from home period, where we're asking for survey information post contact. And
yep.
The engagement, it's been really high and it's been really positive. So
wow, that's awesome.
We're using that data to power decisions.
That's awesome. So again, mentioned we're going into holiday. Anything that our listeners should be looking for from you guys from a product perspective, or specials or places to find your product?
Yeah, I would say if you're a member, check out Costco. They've got some really great offers from us in terms of electronic bidet seats as well as smart toilets. And I think it's probably going to be some of the most, aggressive pricing you'll find on the market for these items. And so there's a real value there. And give it a try.
That's awesome.
If you're hesitant, I hear customers time and time again, their only regret is that they didn't try a product like this sooner.
Right. As we go into next year, one of the things we love to hear about are new products or emerging markets or things that, you guys are doing to evolve. What does that look like going into the next year?
Yeah. So for next year, and actually the next couple of years, the development and technology in smart toilets are going to be a huge focus for us. The housing market and new builds are at an all-time high, and having those kind of products available at the front end for builders and consumers is critical for us. It's probably the quickest growing emerging market for smart toilets with new home builds.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I live in Atlanta, and I mean, there's a shortage of houses all over town that are in the new construction element. Well, share with our audience where they can find you, how they can connect and learn more about your products.
Yeah, visit us at biobidet.com is the best way to connect with us. We have Facebook and Instagram. We're pretty active on there, again, answering questions that potential customers may have, existing customers. We want to hear from you.
I love that. And, dude, I appreciate you coming back for part 2. And I again, love the product. And it's such this is a segment that's going to be so much fun to watch as it grows, and really appreciate you being back on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks again for having me.
The Contender Cast is sponsored by Henderson Shapiro Peck and powered by Contender Brands. You can download additional Contender Cast episodes directly via Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartMedia, YouTube, and other preferred podcast platforms. If you would like to be a guest on the Contender Cast, connect with us at contendercast.com. This is Brian Benson reminding you that every winner started as a contender.